Commission meeting for Thursday, December 5th. I would like to call the meeting to order at 7:08. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, number 2, approval of the agenda, but we are going to amend the agenda to add action item 10B for a list of investments. Do I give the total roughly? For basketball light courts, permanent shade structure.
Allocating the Wayne County grant dollars in the amount of $50,000 and not removing the sled hill at this time, and we are going to get approval from the commission for new projects.
Everybody got that? I need a motion to approve, amend the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Karen, any discussion about this? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay. I need a motion to accept the agenda as amended for tonight. Motion. Greg, second.
I'll second.
Brandon, any discussion? All right, we're good. Motion passed. Number 3, approval of minutes from October 24th. Madam Secretary Wendy submitted those. I'm sure everyone got a chance to read them, so I would like a motion to approve the minutes from October 24th. Karen, second. Kevin, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Approval of the minutes. Public comment. We have baseball field update from Gyra Baseball. Come on up, guys. State your name and welcome.
Hello all. So, is that working?
It's on.
It's on.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So, Kim, thanks for inviting us out tonight, and thank you for entertaining our visit here tonight. So, we're Mike Kearney, 10031 Island Drive, Grosedale. Okay, so we're here tonight to give you an update on where we are with the baseball fields. Like to give you just a quick run overview of a couple milestones that we've basically achieved in 2019, along with some events in 2019. We have a proposed plan in light of the recent announcement with the snow hill removal, lack of snow hill removal. And so I'm prepared to present some design proposal. I'd like to ask you guys just to keep the big picture in mind. There's no need to go into, I guess arguing like the finest details, because the prints we're going to present tonight are just basically something conducted off of Google Earth and scale drawing, or not, they're scale drawings, but they're, it's just, hey, it's not an official architectural drawing. So we'll work off of that, and ultimately, if you guys are prepared and have all the information you'd like, we'd like to get a vote, your vote, to say, okay, yeah, we'd like to take this to the next step forward. So, okay. That being said, so a couple of the milestones we did this year. So Gyra Baseball and Softball, we formed the Field Development Authority, and so I'm the chairman for that authority. And what that basically allowed us to do is to allow Gyra Baseball and Softball to focus on providing baseball and softball for our families here on the island. That's our primary goal. And by creating the Field Development Authority, what we do is we now allow a separate entity to go out and focus on developing fields and infrastructure for our programs. Okay. Another aspect of it is that, he basically allows us to separate some of the finances so that, sponsor dollars, so we're no longer commingling funds between the actual rec program and the development program. So just a little bit more cleaner in the accounting principles. Second item, going back to February 5th, 2019, where we met last, was where the board, the CRC, basically voted to allocate land down at the airport property for the basically the development and building of 2 fields. Okay, that land, just for reference, I don't have an illustration up here. It was the land that's in the 2016, 2011, 2006 master plans. everything north of the snow hill, everything west of the legacy soccer fields, less the there's an area north-south road that they use for parking. So in simplicity, that's what that land was allocated. So we knew going back into that okay, hey, that presented some challenges because it was say less land that we had originally thought with that's provided in the master plan. And so we said, hey, we'll go back and we'll take a look at this and we'll get back with you, right? So we had worked with during the 2019 events, we had worked with Kim, and I think we came to the conclusion that the additional space or the space that was allocated was not sufficient, and we needed to basically look for something more. Shortly after that, I think, is when the discussion on the snow hill removal came in. So I think the rec department had gone out, was exploring that option, basically to provide a, maybe what did I call it here? Basically a better options for all of the Groesville Township residents. Okay, so that option was being explored, and we were basically told, hey, hold off because it may present some options for parking, a bigger footprint for baseball, perhaps, playscapes, concessions, restrooms. All these things were being looked at. Okay, and so that's kind of what happened. So, so that's where we left it, and I think now we're basically, the benefit of these larger fields that we were talking about was basically to give us the benefit for increased revenue generation via tournaments, men's softball, etc. So now that the status of the snow hill is basically, the snow hill will remain, from what I understand. So we went back and we said, okay, now we're back to basically the allowable space that was allocated back in February of 2019. Okay, so that's kind of in a nutshell where we are with all this. Any questions so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So the minimum, so what we came up with was the minimum requirements for the field proposals. And again, as always we've been looking for two multi-dimensional fields. Field A would be a 225-foot home run fence. It would include 60 to 75-foot baselines with 34 to 60-foot pitching mounds. Field B would be similar baselines and similar pitching mounds, with the exception that we'd have it's a bigger field with left and right center foul poles that's 260 feet and a 300-foot 300-foot distance in the left center and right center fields. Okay, these fields will support baseball and softball for T-ball all the way up to 14U, and then softball for all age groups. So basically, this addresses the vast majority of all of our teams. Okay, what it's not going to do is it's not going to allow us the men's softball that we've identified as, okay, hey, this is one nicety that we'd like to have, that if we had fields that would support men's softball and or tournament play, then certainly there would be more opportunity to bring revenue in for the maintenance of the field. So so there are some concessions that we are making now with this footprint. So good here. This is the proposed design. I guess I'll drive maybe here to the left. Do you guys all see this on your monitors? Yes. There? Okay, all right. So to the left is north. To the right, you see we have the snow hill. And then, basically pointing upward is the east-west run for the snow hill. So that's kind of like where we are today with with this footprint. The lower field is our 260 in the upper left-hand corners, 300 in the left center, 300 in the right center, and then 260 in the right field line. Do you guys see my mouse move? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. In right field, we're encroaching, we pushed the actual right field wall into the snow hill, which is, I guess gives us a little bit more space to work with. It's kind of nice because it's, the idea is we like to put up a monster wall of some sort, call it Fenway Park or whatever. And with that, then you would have, we basically try to put allow the spectators to sit up on top of the right field wall. So kind of a nice feature, kind of unique. you don't see that really in any ball fields around here.
And that's the side that it's straight shoot down. Everybody knows that.
How much on the green giant wall or whatever, how much of the actual hill area would be removed for that?
You know, it's, we haven't tweaked this, but I would say, you know, you're going into that 20, 30 feet. 30 is going to be, I think, you know, more of a challenge.
That's all area that we don't currently use.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. It's actually, you know, you look at it, it's got a pretty gradual taper, then it goes up. So, you know, we're going to have to balance this with, you know, okay, what form of retaining wall, you know, what do we actually need here to accommodate going into the snow hill? The benefit is that, you know, hey, you got a nice, because like people would love the idea to sit on top of a hill out in right field to watch it off of like a spectator hill.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I do like what I'm seeing here, okay? But I need to know, as of February of 19, when we approved, I think that was February, when we approved your guys' plans, what happened? We never saw anything. I haven't really heard much. You guys didn't do anything. Is it because you had future plans to do this, or was there financial issues?
So no, we had neither of those. So we had talked with Kim. We had always identified that, okay, the allocated footprint was going to present some challenges. But Kim, I don't remember the time frame when the snow hill came into it. That basically
2 months ago.
Yeah. Well,
No, it was a little bit
way
longer
before
than
that,
that.
Chad.
And again, I hopefully all of you do remember, the goal was to remove the sled hill, give them a little bit extra space, and then also future development for restrooms, concession stand, and those types of things. So if you see the big diamond, it's just going to bank up against the side the kids don't sled down. Okay, so you know, we are going to keep the sled hill. The kids can continue to sled down the hill and everything is fine. So Mike and they had their season over the summer. That was the other thing. And I think we did meet in August, if I'm not mistaken.
well, we had the
with
well, we went with the city architect.
yeah.
With Rains. We met with Campo Brothers.
Yes.
We met with our designer, that basically the guy that handles our fields. That meeting was September 5th.
There you go.
Okay. So this goes back long before that, Chad. It's been a couple months since they basically said, hey, we're going to do this and come back. So we came in with plans at that time.
Well, I guess what my question would be, you know, when you guys were designing this, there was nothing even in there about clearing out the property that we've cleared out this past summer. Does this diagram, does that show where the property is that we've already cleared out? Is that what part of that dirt is that runs along the bottom of this diagram?
That's right.
So that's what we cleared out. Do we have access to go even and I know we do, but I'm putting it out there. I see where the smaller baseball field is up there. Can't that just be moved back a little? That line that runs across the bottom, that white line, what is that?
The one that says Snow Hill?
No. To the left, there's a white line that runs.
Oh,
right
I think
across
that's
there.
just actually that is a line on a printer malfunction.
Because anywhere, if you go, like, see where your cursor is, Mike, see,
Yep.
that's the wetland. We cannot cross that area.
Right.
So the gray area of where that outline is, that's pretty much the border of where we can stop?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because
So
they
you-
only
you-
cleared as far as they could go over there. We can't go any further at all.
All right.
You
so
can
it's
that
you,
good.
make
you can
sense?
see the drop off. Like my mouse right now is on this drop off.
Yes.
And so if you look at this ball field to the right, you know, the outer area here that's labeled spectator area, you've got, you know, we're allocating about 30 feet for a spectator area around the perimeter of this field, okay? Then you go inside the fence line and you have 30 feet of foul territory. And then you see, you know, basically here this is where you've got the actual play surface, or, you know, foul territory, of course, is play surface, but these are the foul lines, these inner lines here, okay? So, yes, this is basically taking advantage of the full footprint here that, you know,
It looks
this
like it's
expanded area.
encroaching on the soccer field.
Well, let me get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me get to that. So, all right. So that's it for I guess what would be the south field, the bigger of the two fields. And then we have the north field, which is 225. Again, you've got a similar egress around, for the spectator areas, 30 feet. You've got I think this is like a 25 or 30-foot foul territory, and we're running a 225-foot baseline here, okay? So this is the northmost field. Yes, it is to the east of the road here. There's actually a memorial up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is for, yes, there's a memorial up there.
Use your mouse and show them where that memorial is, would you?
That memorial would be right. Yep, Kayla Cooper. And I understand the why is my mouse? There we go. Okay. So that memorial would be like right about here. Okay. So, and then, roughly right on down, all this area up here in this upper left-hand corner box is not used. This, what is being basically encroaching on soccer is here. Look, again, I don't want to, I'm going to say, hey, let's look at the big picture, because what I think we need to do here is really, we've got a master plan that we've had since 2006. We've identified fields, and what is it that we need to do to basically make this a grandiose recreation area for all sports, all entities, all residents, complete with, I've got down here the building here, this is for your restrooms, concessions. We should have maintenance sheds in there, one for soccer, one for baseball, where you open up the garage door and you drive your gator out onto the field for maintenance. This is the type of structure that we should have. So now, I think as far as right now, they basically pushed earth out to the west. This is benefiting the township from the standpoint that we've got the West River project. All that fill was used to expand this. There's still further development going on, and as far as I can see and understand, their area to the north of the existing soccer fields will also be pushed to the north, which provides further opportunity for whether it be the expansion of soccer, playscapes, you name it. I don't know. But I think there's a bigger picture here that there is areas that, can we basically cohabitate and, give and take a little, move something slightly, and make things better for everybody.
Well, I mean, with the small field, that's not going to be your premier field. With that smaller field along the right baseline or foul line, if you were to eliminate part of that spectator area and make the two fields closer, could you technically move that field west a little bit further as to not encroach upon the memorial area or soccer area?
So for the memorial area, I think whatever it is, first things first, respect for the family and the young lady that the memorial's name is for. Mm-hmm. So I think, we would want to reach out to them to say, okay, hey, look, could we move this? Could we make something better? Could we do something for you? That's first and foremost, right? We're not going to violate that. Can we do something? Could I drop this down to 210 feet for the radius? You could make this work in here somehow. I'm
just looking at all the back and forth that went on last time we talked about this with between the soccer people and the baseball people. I know you guys love each other dearly, but I'm looking at more problems with that, and I want to make sure that everybody can live with whatever we do.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask you right now, so we scale that back to 200 feet, and I think we're basically, it's not a problem. Okay. The spectator areas in between, you can, like I said, you can tweak this design. And again, I'm not saying that this is an architectural drawing.
Sure. I understand. It's just it's an idea at this point.
Put it away. We're working off of a Google Earth plot to scale.
Yeah, but it's very handy. It gives you something to look at. But I'm just thinking if you eliminated the spectator area on that north field along the right baseline, it would allow you to move that field back.
Yeah, to me, it seems like instead of having two separate spectator
Right.
areas, you overlap
Just
them.
combine that.
You just
Well, I
combine
guess
that
put it this way,
into
they're
one.
30 feet each.
It's-
You need about 50, 60 feet at a minimum
Do ya?
between the two fields.
Okay.
You know, if you're talking 30 feet, you're talking a pathway. So, you know, you need, you know, put it this way, you know, yeah, you can shoehorn these in here, but do you
Yeah.
want it to be a nice venue, or do you want it to be like, you know, yeah, you're shoehorned in between two fences and, you know, watching some games?
Are these diagrams bigger than the ones that we allocated for your property when we came back and said, hey, look, we'll take this? And the other thing is, like, when you keep going about 2006 and stuff, I get that with the master plan, but I think back then, this ripping out this or making these, giving you more property here wasn't even on those master plans, was it, back then? You know, how we,
So I think, Chad, this affords us to do a 260, 300.
my first question, are these the same size as what you brought to us back in the spring?
In the
That-
springtime.
The ones that we
So-
approved.
The ones that we approved, we said, hey, will these two work? You guys said, yes, we'll come back with diagrams.
So I don't think we threw down a diagram of what the actual plan was. I think we voted on a space.
Sure.
Yeah, we gave you a space,
Right.
and you said basically whatever you can fit in this space would work, as long as it was safe and everything else. If I remember, I'm going off
Well, I
of
think
memory.
we said we would go back and look at it to confirm that we could. We thought, hey, possibly we could make this work or whatever. We came back after that, we talked with Kim, we said, look, you know what, it's not gonna work, okay? We've always said that we absolutely identified that the north part of that north-south road being used for parking was absolutely, was required. And then we was said, okay, hey, you know, that wasn't granted to us. They basically took that north-south road, which, you know, is basically identified for baseball in the master plans. They took that out of the equation for us. We said we'd look at it. That's when the Snow Hill prospect opened up. We explored that. We had meetings with the architects, with, you know, everybody, we had with many people in the township here, okay? And now that prospect is dead. And so we're coming to you to saying that, look, you know what? Here's the minimum field requirements that we're basically, we need to move forward with. And this is the footprint that's required to do so. Now, can I make a concession on the north field? I think we could basically take that off of, you know, it would be very close to being right up to that, the memorial. But I think you could basically minimize any, you know, pretty much, you'd probably keep it on the east side of that north-south road going, yeah, that they use for parking today.
Like, we can talk to the family, obviously,
Pavarnik family, I think, is the one that is managing that.
and see what they want to do, where they want to move it to.
Well, if it's even, Jim, I'm not even saying that's a must, okay? I'm saying that, I mean, put it this way, I understand it's there, and I'm telling you that we're gonna respect that, okay? And yes, if it is reaching out to the family, if that's out there, that's first and foremost, okay? We're, you know, just, that's understood. Then that's fine, yep. I'm aware of that. Kevin, you had a question?
Yeah, so we cleared all the woods back there, right? So say where our trailer is, there's two trailers there. Why can't you run a field that way? Where home plate, say, is, I guess would be up against the memorial, and then run it that way. So it would run north.
Well, so you're saying my center field is to the north now?
So if you put your home plate by the memorial for the little field, and
Basically
run it
turn it
north,
180.
turn it this
Turn it
way.
around.
I don't know what's all up there, Kevin. I mean, I've walked that area. I personally don't think there's enough real estate yet.
I've not walked it. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean,
Yep.
it looks like a lot
I,
of
put it
land.
like- I think what's good about this is that, okay, we've got a problem because we've got bridges and we've got earth that needs to be removed off the island, right? And the most economical way to do that is to basically use it for expanding this area to the north. Kevin, this obviously could benefit soccer, right? Could you guys not move some of your smaller fields and you got nice trees out there. You could put soccer fields like close by trees. Your spectators could sit under the shade trees. I mean, there's a lot of nice benefits that can come with all this.
I'm not, I don't think I voted for the baseball fields. I think it's a great idea, as long as it works and as long as it works for everybody.
Okay.
You'd have to sit down with Becky and Michelle. I do little with soccer anymore. I just write the checks. So, I'm just thinking from a standpoint of there's a lot of land back there. I'm thinking a 210-foot fence may fit that way. And my
Yeah,
other
and
question is why did the fields rotate to the point where the home run fence now is going into the parking lot? The other designs were the other way.
So I think, when we met with John Rathall, everybody said, hey, look, you know what, you want a southeast orientation, east, southeast, basically because of setting suns and so
Okay.
on.
No, that's fine. I'm just the other ones were the other way. That's why I asked.
Yeah, and it puts away. I think at that time, that was really I think when we were doing that, we did that to completely stay off of this north-south road.
Okay.
And I think, you're looking at this here, I mean, the big point of, that we've always, had a point of contention on was that now we're eliminating what people are using for parking. And so that's another potential point of contention, but I think there are solutions for that, which, I've got some sketches on that if you guys want to talk about that, but I think, this here preserves a snow hill. It allows you to do east-west run right here. Kim, we're showing a gateway over in your upper right-hand corner where, you basically come in from the parking lot. You would walk in there. You'd see your concessions and your restrooms to the left. We're looking for something that basically pairs what other communities have. And we
I have
don't.
a question for Kim. The fence that's on that sled hill, how far feet-wise, not uphill, not incline, but how many feet approximately is that from the edge of from the north edge of the hill? I'm just curious.
No idea.
Does anyone know that?
I don't know.
So you're asking which fence?
There's a fence that runs along the top of the hill.
Yeah, and it runs north-south.
It runs east-west, I believe.
It runs east-west, yeah.
No.
It runs north-south and east-west.
Yeah.
Both.
That was. I'm pretty sure that fence was put up for safety reasons, so people
Correct.
don't fall
That's what
off
I
that
had
side of
heard.
the
You
hill.
look at that,
Yes.
But
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is, and it's just a thought, but if we move these fields like you talked about with that wall, I don't know how much room there is there before that fence. We'd have to look at this, but I think that if we could look at this, see how much room there is there. If we remove just a little bit more of a portion of the hill, it's not going to affect anything with sledding.
Right.
As long as there's fencing. I mean, this has to be safe because this is going to be a
that's
cliff.
First and foremost.
But I mean, if we move that big diamond a little bit further in, it would give you all the room you need. But I don't want to, and again, this is just a thought because I really need to think about everything about this, but it could be nice.
I think it's a very nice feature. The the challenge becomes the further you go in, then the complexity for a retaining wall.
Well, you're going to have that either way. I mean, if you
Well,
go over a few feet, you need it. You need
you're
tiebacks.
going to need a retaining wall, but when you start going 10, 12, a 20-foot retaining wall, I mean, you're talking some very, probably beyond the scope of what we would expect to achieve here.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it's got to be realistic. I'm envisioning something like a 10-foot wall.
Yeah.
Tops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I think the idea to cut into the hill gives you the ability to have a deeper right field. You could play this field, the 260 with a higher wall is going to play like 280. Okay, so it's going to make it a little bit more challenging. If you took left center out a little bit deeper, maybe you could even play men's softball on this field. So there's an option for it.
So the
possibility.
property we allocated months ago wasn't big enough for what you wanted to do.
That's correct.
All right.
Yep.
So where we're at that's exactly where we're at. Okay, because we're trying to move sled hills, we're trying to get this and that, and when you design something, you want to do it right. And so we're at a crossroad right now that in commission, you all know that you are in charge of that area over there. That is your responsibility. and we have to make a decision soon. I feel that's the only fair thing that we do have to decide what we're going to do. Are we going to allow the field to be built there? It will encroach on that kind of that driveway where those parking spots are that soccer does use currently. Obviously, on the north field, we've got some issues there as well. So kind of where we're at, Mike, if I'm wrong, you're looking for those approvals to encroach on those areas if I'm
Like I
not-
say, I think we could
like
back.
in a nutshell, I'm just trying to make it simple.
Right. I think we could, maybe work something with, going to a 200-foot radius or 210 on the upper field, which I think I'm pretty confident that would clear. I mean, it might go over a very minimal amount, but I think it would just, I don't even think it would touch that memorial at that point.
So the smaller field doesn't touch the memorial or soccer playing fields, it only encroaches on parking.
Yeah, I think it would be very close to that. Like I say, this all has to be tweaked and adjusted, and ideally, I mean, hey, if what we're looking for is this, one of the deliverables I'll ask for tonight is the actual surveyed plot that Charles Raines would have access to allow us to work with that to put these fields on here, transpose these designs onto this actual surveyed land, so we have a better field. This is really fit. I think this is pretty darn close. I mean, Google Earth is pretty good as far as being accurate with the dimensions here.
Well, myself, where the restrooms and concessions are, I don't agree where that's located. I think it needs to be more central to everything. So if they pulled that out of there, can't we
That's
just pull
so
everything
far
out?
down the road.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but it's got to do with the diagram he's just submitted.
Well, this is kind of the big picture I want you guys to start thinking about, because I mean, here's kind of, let me take you there. So intermediate next steps, we're looking for the CRC to basically the approval to vote and approve to proceed with the footprint for these two new fields. We're looking for Charles Raines' company to transfer the designs onto the surveyed plot. We just need the plots. We're willing to do the work, okay? We have that capability, all right? And then I guess, the next step is to proceed with finalizing designs and construction of the fields. These are the immediate next steps. Near term, I'm pushing for, we need a collective effort by the rec department, all the sports groups, the township, to basically finalize and execute a master plan that includes all these amenities, restrooms, concessions, maintenance buildings, all the supporting infrastructure. I mean, we'd like to go for lights and all this. Again, we have this crown jewel in our backyard here. We just need to polish it. And I think we've got assets here that are underutilized. And I think with the proper vision and the proper master plan execution, we could have a nice recreation area, something that we can all be proud of.
And the new master plan we're going to be working on, because it's coming up in next year. So,
Yeah.
Let's remember, the old master plan didn't have that land that we developed back there to do any of this
Right.
work. So we're going into new territory.
So I think just, Chad, to your comment on the restroom, being more centrally located, where do you think would be more centrally located?
South of the sled hill, but we're not going to go there right now. That's a different group.
All right, so
Yeah, water, I guess, where we're not running lines of.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is basically not too far off that path. I mean, you're not. You're basically the width of the snow hill from.
Comments from the commission about this?
Well, I to move forward, I want to look at more detail. I want to see, the next steps here. Talk to Raines, get us a better diagram. I don't really know what to say. I mean, I know we already agreed on a certain area that you guys, we gave to you.
Mhm.
It's changed now.
And that's not big enough. We're all
Right. I understand that. I want to see you guys be able to do something over here. I really do. And I'm sure everybody here does, but we need to make sure that it works. And I think you're going to have to talk with soccer people with whatever, we come up with here before we can really move too far forward, because if they don't like it, they're not going to go for it.
Okay,
And
so let me back this off and say, if we, this line here basically that represents the north-south line of the east side of that road where cars are parked, right? They use for parking. If we were to say west of that, does that basically, if our envelope is no further east of that, is that an acceptable proposal?
I personally don't have a problem if you're east of that.
Okay, west.
Or west of that. I'm sorry, west.
Because we're bringing in a lot more parking too. If we got soccer, baseball, football practice all going on at once. So, I mean, just devil's advocate here, you want to take away some of the parking. And I know there's other places to park, but we're going to be bringing in possibly hundreds more people, right, during these games.
You know,
and stuff.
Right?
Does soccer play while baseball's going on?
We play spring and fall. But we usually play on the weekends. I think you guys play Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, Monday through Thursday is current schedules under the SEBA League, right? Yep. I mean, you might have an occasional makeup game on a Friday.
Just me personally, I've said it, I think it's good if you could put a baseball field there. I would like to see if you could somehow turn that little field going north-south. Home plate is down by the memorial, and you're hitting out into the field. I think there's I've not physically gone out there and measured it, so I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe it fits that way.
I mean, there's some hardwood trees that they haven't removed. Are those fair game for removal? Yeah.
Kyle's not here, so.
I think
I
what
don't
we
think
need
there's
to
any
do-
historical trees over
correct
there.
me if I'm wrong, but we're getting into the itty bitty details of this thing when we don't even have a proper survey yet, right? Mike's asked for a survey and to meet with the engineer. I think he can give us a more detailed plan then, and then we can sit there and sort of, hey, I don't like this, move this. Right now, it's just conceptual. It's just like, hey, I think I can fit 2 baseball fields in here, but I need a survey.
When there's a
It's
survey,
a
that
survey.
exists.
He's working off of Google Earth.
Right, but we also, as a commission, have to allocate more land to him before we go get the survey.
Well, the survey exists, I thought. I thought these plots existed already.
Well, what was the thing that we got 2 years ago that had 6 different diagrams on, or 8 different diagrams?
That was the first one from
Yeah,
Wade
I know. I
Trim.
mean, this is.
I don't. Those
You're
were
talking about the
conceptual.
5-year plan. The 5-year plan,
No,
even
he's-
that was conceptual.
He's talking about the one with the 8 diagrams,
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All Yep.
Yeah.
which was a lot.
And that was before we moved trees and dirt and had more land down there to develop.
I mean,
so-
that had all kinds of visionary elements on there. I mean, that was out there.
So, commission, are you okay if we take the conceptual plan and have it done properly? That will come out of our budget.
Yeah. Personally, I think if we want this thing to move forward, we got to start moving.
And how much is that going to cost out of our budget to have those drawn up? Couple $1,000s? They're a couple grand each. I'll let you guys go ahead.
I'm all for it. I mean, I think, spend a couple $1,000s, find out if you can or you can't do it. But until we spend some money, get a survey, get some engineers involved, we can sit here all night and talk about this. We're not going to really know, I mean,
Yeah, I agree with Greg.
Turn your mic on.
I mean,
I think we all know
I've
it's
seen a
good.
presentation since 2012. So
2015.
whenever it was, when we sat at Smokies and talked about it,
December 7th.
put
All
something
right.
together. I mean, just
2015.
Greg and Kevin, we got Karen. What do you think?
I'm in. I think it's a good idea.
Wendy,
Yeah, I say the same thing.
Rich,
I'm for it.
Okay.
Brandon,
Yeah, have them professionally drawn up.
Mr. Nelson.
yes, sir.
Okay, that's our next step then? All right.
we need to make a motion on this, or can we go?
No, we're going.
Now we're good.
We're going.
So, Mike, you got your marching orders?
I'd like you to repeat the first sentence you said about we're not taking down the sled hill. When you started your Mike Cornell, everybody, let's watch it.
Hey, the
Well, the motion is.
By the way,
the motion is. he's
we
getting
never
design.
made the
design.
push for the snow hill removal. It was just something that was presented to us.
fit.
It was presented to us as, hey, there's a possibility this might happen.
Oh, I know.
Can you take us?
know,
off?
and it's-
If you do it at dark, you're okay.
We're okay. Okay, so I think that is, that's it.
And who's the gentleman behind you?
This is Brad Bowling.
I know who
Brad
he is.
has been with us for many years. Oh, you know Brad, okay. So,
Just for the cameras,
Did Melissa do that? I mean, did she do that?
this presentation? No, I do all this stuff.
Oh, sorry. Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I can send that to, give me an email address.
That
or
would be great if you could send to all of us.
send it to, I have Kim's email
Yeah,
address.
and I'll forward it to everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so our next step is we will meet with Rains, and in January's meeting, we will bring you a real drawing.
Can we meet with Rains in the meantime?
Say that again?
Can we meet with Rains in the
Yes,
meantime?
yes, we're all going.
Yeah.
We're going together. Teamwork.
I appreciate all your,
We're going.
I appreciate the outcome, thank you. We've been at this for a while, and
Oh, we know.
so it's not like it's a fly-by-night operation.
I'm all for it. I want to see this happen. I just want to make sure it's done right.
Well, it'll be done right. I guarantee it. Again, I just think that, hey, with this expansion going on to the north, gosh, I don't know. I mean, if we know for a fact that's going on, and you took this north field instead of scaling it back, why not open it up and move those, whatever collectively. Kevin, I know the soccer people, we would have to work with them, of course, but I just think by expanding all this land here, it opens up better configurations. And we sit here and tend to say, okay, hey, here's this box, Mike, you got to work in this. And there's better solutions. And you know what? And they're better solutions that benefit everybody. Most importantly, I guess, the Grosville Township residents. So
Are you running for board next year?
by no means.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Jim.
My report, I will update everybody on the events down there. We have a director's report from Ms. Kim O'Farrell. Do you have the Channels magazine or the Profile magazine with you? Not yet, but
Oh,
when we
I
get
have
down
one
to
with
Pro-
me. On our Facebook wall for Grosse Ile Recreation, I recently put a post up there asking residents for input on programs, ideas, and I'm also looking for instructors for the spring-summer brochure, new programs. With the possible bridge closure next summer, we definitely want to keep our residents active. So if you have a program idea or an instructor, just email me directly because we are in the process of planning spring and summer right now. Everything, we have to do that right now. So that's kind of the thing that my office is working on. And then also just, making sure the pool's ready. We've got the bid going to hopefully be approved by the board on Monday night for the pool heater, those types of things. Winter maintenance, all that. The parks are currently closed and winterized, but obviously if you get a nice day and want to go through the park, it's okay. But like swings and so forth have been taken down, so. But yeah, just more importantly, let us know what you want for spring and summer. That's what rec is all about, providing for the residents. So call me, email me, or post on Facebook.
I've had two different people approach me. One was about belly dance classes for spring, summer.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
The other was about euchre.
Yeah.
So
And
we
then I
listened
did-
to you out there.
For you to teach it?
No.
Yeah, and then I actually got a message from a resident, and I guess this was done years ago. Obviously, I wasn't here, and maybe some of you know the answer to that, but it used to be a door decorating for the holidays on the island. Has anyone heard of that?
So I'll tell you something. In 1975, we won Best Garage Door in our subdivision.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a door or the garage door.
I want to say about 8 or 9 years ago, the Grosse Ile Alliance for the Arts did a holiday light contest. And I didn't want to chime out because I saw another group on Grosse Ile was thinking of doing it. But I think recreation next year we should sponsor a Christmas lights. We do a traditional most creative and something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so, and I have not yet responded to I just wanted to bring it to the commission. I know it's, we're here, Christmas is right around the corner, so it may not be something we do right now, but I just wanted to kind of put that idea out for next year. That's something we could all work on, and it's pretty cool though. So
Yeah,
if the
and-
residents listening, I just wanted, to bring
Can't do
that up.
mailboxes, but you could do garage doors, you could do house
Front doors
all
and
that, so-
houses and all of that, so.
And I know Beautification Commission or one of them are maybe could work with us or something.
Yeah.
Which I do have something I want to,
And that's all I
are you
really
good,
have.
Kim? Thank
I'm
you.
good. Yep.
I did get you get a trophy or a prize. You get little door prizes from businesses. We got a shout out in the EL camera. I still have the paper clipping. 1975 best garage door. I was reached out. I don't know if Kim, if you got a chance to read that email. Brian Pollock, who is the chairman for the Bikes and Path Commission, wants to have all the chairmen or chairwomen from the commissions meet once or twice a year and have a meeting of sorts. So I think that might be kind of good. I think we should even do a yearly community calendar that says what events are going on throughout the year, so not everybody's clashing, or we can work together. So Brian, I did get your email this morning, and I know a lot of people have responded to it. So I think by getting all the chairmen and chairwomen from the commissions together is a great idea for an annual meeting. So, all right, old business. Nothing. New business. Subcommittees. Mr. Nelson, Township Board Liaison.
Report, thank you.
And a great holiday to you too, sir. Should we skip B? Anything on that?
Oh.
All right. Kim, Water's Edge Playscape and Sunrise. I had somebody ask me if Sunrise Park was closed right now.
The gate is up just because of snow and ice. And
Nice. I told her
obviously,
that
if it's
too.
a nice day, we have to put that up just for liability and safety issues. So.
So those hunters in their aluminum boats. Okay, culture events. Can you get that profile magazine up there, please? I have some things to announce. Coming up tomorrow is our Island Glow, which is at Macomb Commons at Marina and Macomb at 6 p.m. It starts. We have it's not the Down, what are they called? The Rivers End Brass performing with us. We have the Children's Choir. We have the big guy in red showing up from, it's a secret. His beard's awfully thick, though. And thank you, Wendy, chime in there. The high school marching band. So that's Island Glow tomorrow night, Friday, December 6th. I'm your master of ceremonies. Woo-woo. So just stop in there, 6 p.m. Who does the hot chocolate for sale and stuff, Wendy? Is it the Music Boosters? They're in that tent. They're in the heating tent.
Oh, maybe it isn't.
I think it is.
Yeah, so there's hot chocolate for sale, lots of entertainment, lots of fun things. 6 p.m. tomorrow, Macomb Commons, Island Glow. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. is Breakfast with Santa, sponsored by the Recreation Department. It's $5 per person. I think if the kids are in a stroller or something, isn't that a little young? I mean, they're not gonna,
2 and under is free.
2 and under is free. Thank you. Got that, Brandon. All right.
We extended the registration till tomorrow at 5 p.m.
So Santa's going to be really busy. He's going to be out Friday night and Saturday morning. Yeah, he is.
Pays real good, Jim.
Don't forget to get those self-addressed or put your name on your letter for Santa Claus and drop it in the mailbox. We put the mailbox out a few days ago. Thank you, Gene. And we've been taking letters now. But put your child's name and address, and he or she will get an answer back from Santa Claus. That's the big red box.
Where's the box at?
It's at Macomb Commons. It's a huge red Santa Claus box. Irene Will designed that, and Steve Zink built it, and Donna Henson painted it, and I'm running it. So we've been busy. That runs through December 20th. You'll get an answer back. Don't forget the senior elf workshop is Saturday the 14th. Excuse me. That's at 10 to 12. You can drop off your kiddies, right? your kids. Saturday, December 14th at the Recreation Building at the Farms at 10 a.m. That's $10 per kid. And that's a lot of fun, the elf workshop. So, yeah, they get to create at least 2 gifts. Senior luncheon. I was going to get to that. Oh, we'll give a shout out to the Historical Society's Holiday Boutique at the Customs House. There's over 30 local artists. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Customs House, which sits up on the hill at the corner of Parkway and East River Road. You all been in there yet? Yeah. I managed it the first weekend it was open. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to the Daddy-Daughter Dance. I know we've already getting bookings for that. I had it on my in my notes, too. Daddy-Daughter Dance is Friday, February 7th. What's that?
Don't forget us.
And Mother and Son Date Night is Friday, this January 17th. There was another one I saw in green right there. And Mother and Son Bowling. Mother and son get 2, and daddy and daughters get 1. Friday, February 21st. Wendy had a cool idea that we're going to look at for next year. There should be a mother and son superheroes. Yeah, that would be cool. Because you are Wonder Woman, girl. You do everything. I'm telling you. And then senior luncheon is next Wednesday, the 11th, and that is how much per person? $10 per person for the senior luncheon. And if you need a ride, we will pick you up in our trusty new bus. It is at the farm.
Yes.
And that's the holiday luncheon. Santa could make an appearance there, too, you know.
Gotta ask them.
Really? It's senior luncheon? That's cool.
Would you call the North Pole?
Well, you know, I can relate.
Oh, so that's a lot of events coming up, and all those are listed on our website and at our Facebook page for Grosville Recreation. Also, it's in your profile magazine. That's good. All right. Mr. Antosh, budget, finance, and grants.
Thanks, Chad. All right, let's talk about the financial health of our budget right now. Year to date, our expenditures are $781,000, and our revenue is $723,000. Net, that gives us $57K in the hole. Month to date was $80,000 in expenses and $4,800 in revenues. Talking about the drivers of what's going on, why we're behind on the budget. We're in an odd situation here. It happens every year. It's seasonal. The only true section of the budget that gives us any revenue in the wintertime is the Marina with the winter dockage. So for the year, we're up $8K on the Marina. Marina's making us money, and it's helping us cover other sections of the budget that aren't doing so well. The pool is down $22,000 for the year, and the festival budget is actually making us money, which is great. We're up $10,000 for the year on all the festivities that we plan and that we sponsor and have everybody come to on the island. So, hey, maybe we could have a big festival in the wintertime to help us out with the budget here.
Chili cook-off.
That's right.
Yeah, we tried Winterfest last year, but
Yeah, maybe we could think of something.
cost a big Christmas tree, dude. I saw you sling that thing across the parking lot.
I
Isn't that you that crushed the Christmas tree?
Yeah, I crushed it.
Oh, sorry with your...
So where are we at? Marina's good. Pool's down. Festival's good. Golf. Our revenues for the year were $103,000, and our expenses were $190,000. That puts us $87,000 down for golf. That number will continue to increase, and the gap will continue to widen as we have salaries to cover on that. So just things to think about in what we're managing here and what we continue to pay for to have on the recreation budget. Obviously, any input from the commission or public, any ideas there, what we can do to kind of help us balance the budget, what we need, what we don't need. things like that. Kim, do you have any comments on that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know my name's not Kim, but sorry. The pool loss, I didn't think that the pool lost money this year.
Down, we had 35,000 in revenues and 58,000 in expense. Just a second. $35,000 in revenue.
We'll have to look at that number too, but it sounds like that,
58,000 in expense.
sounds like that golf course is a big strain on us financially.
What were the drivers of the losses on the pool?
So we're budgeted for the year. This is just a budget saying we're going to make this much. Is 35,000, and we're budgeted for expenses at 80,000. So we're already setting ourselves up to have more expense than revenue for the pool.
That doesn't make sense.
It's just one of the things that we cover, you know, with the millage and our general budget, so that we have a pool for the township, you know.
Well, why? I understand, but
Kim, we're losing that much money on the pool?
that's a lot of loss.
At a different line, I mean, I'm looking at something different than he's.
The golf one made, I get that one. That's what we discussed, but the pool seems like it made money. We'll look into it.
Check it out
Yeah, we'll check it out.
afterwards.
Yeah. Brandon, anything else on that?
No, any additional comments on the budget from anybody else?
Well, we definitely have to look at the golf course situation, because if we're losing $90-some thousand a year, that's money that could be used for a lot better things. I love the golf course, we all do, but we need to figure out, there's a hole in our bucket and we need to patch it.
Yeah, and that needs it's going to need work over the years
Kim-
too. You know,
Kim, do you want me to
fix-
mention what we discussed on the side? Salary.
For the salaries? I mean, you can, I mean, sure.
Okay, we're just going to continue to have to pay salaries, and we're not. Nobody's golfing right now, so that 87 will quickly go up to a lot more,
The way the
because we have the way the budget works.
The cost center, and we have two full-time union employees, and you both know them, Mark Tiso and Gene Kowalski. And Gene, his salary is kind of pulled out of a couple of cost centers because he does do the Marina. And then Mr. Tiso is pretty much 95% golf course, and he is full-time year-round. So that's kind of what's happening. We also have a permanent part-timer that comes out of the golf line as well, and then another part-timer that gets laid off in the winter. So
What are they doing when the golf course is closed? I mean, I know.
they're doing all the maintenance on the machines, the mowers,
So
those types
I
of
got it.
things, and yeah. And then they do snow removal as well. So Mark, we have to do the snow removal on our properties. So there's other things that they are doing, not just because the golf course is closed, but that salary has been allocated out of there for years, and I'm going to try to hopefully shift that a little bit.
When these people retire, does their retirement package and their insurance, all that, does that come out of the recreation budget, or is that put into the township's retirement people?
Retirement check would come from MERS, the retirement system.
Who would it come out of?
Where would the money, who
General.
pays for that once they're gone and they're out of our department and they're living in Florida or whatever?
Good question. I think the general fund.
It's general fund, because people are going to keep retiring and stepping down, and we still got to hire new people.
Not necessarily, but okay.
I know, but we're working on a really small group now. Kim said we got like 2 people.
We are
that
paying
doing
into retirement
Yeah.
out of our budget.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Yeah.
But that's something that's gonna happen till the end of time. There's always gonna be a certain amount of retirees that we're paying for.
Right.
So that's not something new.
But if you got 5 people and we're down to 2 that are doing 5-person job, you know, it's just going to be a strain no matter what. And down the road, it will be a bigger strain unless we downsize or figure out things to do.
Well, we gotta figure it out. We
Thanks,
don't have to
Brandon.
do it right now or right here, but we've gotta figure it out.
Good thing Santa Claus works for cookies and milk. You good, Brandon?
I yield.
Thank you. Karen Olinek, any updates on Centennial Farms?
Yes, I do. I want to touch on the recreation building over at Centennial Farms, and I want to inform everybody that I'm sure some people don't know this, but the building over there could be rented out for events like parties, graduation, showers, and I actually think it would be a very unique setting for even a wedding reception. And I believe it can hold around 200 people, which is a good size crowd to hold an event at. Plus, it's so unique over there with the pavilion in the back in the summer. When we had our Halloween party there, I got to walk around a little bit more and really enjoy that pavilion. And so if you're interested in booking a party or any type of an event, small or large, get a hold of the recreation department and get some information on booking and pricing as well.
And there is a full kitchen in that building.
That's right.
And you can also book just the pavilion and not the building, and vice versa. Yeah. Cool. And the inside of that place looks great with the with the Christmas trees up and all that.
Oh, it looked really nice with the Halloween stuff up, too.
Yes, it did. We need to make sure those elves are thanked that did all that decorating in there. That good?
Good.
Thanks, Karen. Recreation land, Mr. Brower, Mr. Meyring.
Nothing to report. Covered it pretty much with the baseball guys.
Okay, Greg. You good?
Yeah, same thing he said.
You're getting busy this time of year, dude. Oh, I mean, you're busy all the time. Mr. Naso, local business and community groups. I know there's a lot going on.
Yeah, Angela sent me over a couple notes today. She wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to the Ladies' Night Out. Biggest turnout ever, she said. Over 250 ladies showed up and shopped, ate, etc. So thanks to all of them. You had Marty mentioned already, but you want to make sure everybody knows tomorrow's the Island Glow tree lighting on Macomb, starting at 6. As Chad said, he'll be
The Master of Ceremonies.
Master of Ceremonies. So make sure everybody comes out for that. Those are the and continue to support the local businesses on the island.
Cool.
Rec programs. I see my name's next. Kim, are you affiliated? The rec department's affiliated with the basketball camp that starts Saturday, correct?
No, that one's Gyra.
That's through Gyra. Okay.
Yep, ours is in March. Or
Okay.
ours is, hold on.
After the first of the year.
Ours starts March 25th.
Okay. So we
And
got
that's
a while
first
on
and
that.
second graders, yeah. We go after Gyra. We try to keep basketball going.
Okay. So from the rec standpoint, just get a hold of the rec department. Check the profile magazine. There's always things going on for the kids, for the families. A lot of great things.
Do we have yoga going on right now at the farms? So we have a yoga program. What else?
It's all in the
Pickleball?
book.
It's all in the book. All right.
Pickleball at the farm?
Where's that pickleball held at?
Pickleball's at the school, Meridian.
Oh,
And that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Gotcha.
That basketball camp is Saturday at 10, this Saturday, and then the following Saturday.
Is that when your kid's in? When your kids is in?
Yeah. There's it's three of them. One was already, and then they have the next two. Yeah.
You good, Kevin?
I'm good.
Miss Wendy Kearney, school liaison.
All right. Well, you had some stuff. Didn't you have something, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Just wanted to, I think it's just the high school, but the Grosse Ile High School and the Riverview High School have gotten together to do a canned food competition, canned food drive. So for all the Grosse Ile people, make sure you support that need. All the winter sports have started. Basketball season starts this week. Wrestling I'm not sure if wrestling is this time of year, but I think so. And last time we talked about how Grocio was getting ready to play in the state soccer championship, but a big shout out to the boys soccer for winning the state championship this year. Actually had 5 or 6 of their players were voted first team all-state soccer players, so great year for them. And John Evans, the head coach, was voted the district head coach of the year as well. So congrats.
So somebody, a couple people brought this up to me, and I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. They said, "Why doesn't Groziel have one of those boards that says state champions of soccer or football or baseball?"
It's at the schools.
So there is one at the schools.
Yeah, they make plaques and put them up on the fences.
All right. So
Also, signs on street signs. Wyandotte won the hockey championship, and there's actually a sign in Wyandotte that says that as you enter Wyandotte.
So it's in the field. It's at the fields at the school.
That's where the schools put their signs, but I know what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
if you go to Trent, they got one on West Road or something that says state championship or something like that.
Can I get one? Oh, I'm just spreading the word that somebody played my ear, and one of
I can
those
get you
other
one.
groups.
Tell me what size you want. I'll get you one.
What, best MC?
No, for the soccer.
Oh, for the soccer guys. Oh, all right. Oh, oops.
For you personally.
All right.
That's all I got.
Where do we drop the food off for Groziel versus Riverview? Is that what it is? You got to take the food to the high school. Oh, I get butterflies when I walk in that building. Miss Kearney.
Oh, well,
Mrs. Kearney.
for the elementary schools, we just wrapped up the Secret Santa shop at Park Lane yesterday, and then we moved it all over to Meridian, and that will start on Monday. So we'll be doing that Monday through Thursday. So the kids love that time of the year. They get to come in and shop for their friends and family. So we have that going on.
My daughter loved that, by the way.
Good. Yep, one done, one to go. And then I was just going to give, Meridian had a carnival this evening. They did it during the day. The 5th graders made all the games and stuff, and the whole school went through during the day. The kids could buy tickets to go through, and then they opened it up this evening for families from Park Lane. So I hope it was a huge success. They were getting ready when I was finishing setting up for Secret Santa Shop. So, but that's all I got.
Wendy is involved with everything at those schools, I'm telling you. And just
Oh.
elementary, middle, high school. Brandon, how old's your oldest?
5.
And she's in what grade?
Kindergarten.
Who does she have?
You give her like a credit card to go shopping at the Santa Boutique or something? Or what was that called?
Miss Neiman?
Oh, okay. No, we do not accept credit cards at the Santa shop. We
Oh.
accept cash or checks made payable to Groziel PAT.
He's the one with the 4 kids.
No, everything's $1. So they come
And I
and
love
shop.
seeing all your families this time of year, the holiday pictures, and
Yes.
somebody's on the floor with their dog now, right? And he's got a new puppy at home.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All righty. Here we go. Action items. Action item 10A. We are voting to approve the lease proposal and submission from Smokies on the Water as submitted. It will mirror the 2019 lease at $36,000 a year, 65% of their utilities. It will, which is May through September, and expire December of 2020.
December 31st, 2020.
December 31st, 2020. As submitted. Identical as this past year's.
Correct.
I make a motion to renew the contract as submitted.
I need a second.
Second.
Rich Connor. All right, discussion about this renewal of Smokies lease for 1 year. Any discussion?
Just to be clear, we're voting on the original that we gave to them. They made a modification about getting some kind of credit,
A request for a modification.
request for modification.
Modification.
We are not approving that. We are approving the original contract
Correct.
lease. Okay.
Yes. Everybody understand that?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Our second action item is 10B, to allocate the $50,000 grant for lights at the basketball court and volleyball court at Water's Edge, permanent shade structures at the swimming pool, and to reseal the parking lot at Water's Edge. This was originally the money that was looked into for relocating the sled hill. We decided that it would be best in the community's interest to take that money and then put some lights up at the basketball court and the volleyball court, do a permanent shade structure at the pool, and reseal the parking lot. I would need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Wow. Is that Rich?
Yes.
Second from Jim. Any discussion about this?
Yes, I just want to be clear. This is money. This money is not coming out of our pockets.
That is correct.
This
is
money
grant
is
money.
a grant that will go away if we don't use it.
Correct.
Correct.
That's what I wanted to. I want the community to know
Yes.
that. Why is this thing so loud?
Mine's loud too. We're yelling.
Because you're yelling.
Yeah,
I'm
the
passionate.
misconception, absolutely. There was. It comes up every 5 years. So, and again, the dollar amount is a total of $60,000, and the township board approved to take $10,000 of that to repair the drain at Sunrise Park, so there could be some expansion over at that park. We will use the remainder of the $50,000 for our 3 projects, and again, we will be going out for bid on those projects. That is not coming out of our budget.
And it's to fix up stuff we already have. So, all right.
Stuff that we definitely need. The shade. Lights are big so the kids can play at night, the volleyball and the basketball. And our shade structures at the pool are falling apart. They're pretty bad.
So Rich put the motion. Mr. Nelson seconded it. We're at discussion point. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Moved. Well, that's going to make that place a little nicer and brighter. So they're playing basketball till 2 a.m. And the pool. When
We'll
you
probably
use
have to
the
put
structures.
closing times or something out there. Yeah.
Any discussion items? Any extended public comment? Individual commissioner comment. I brought one of these for everybody, and y'all kind of just left them
I'll
sitting
put
out
mine
there.
on now,
Why
too.
didn't
Oh,
get
Karen
one?
got one too. There's an old bag sitting right there. Oh.
Fine.
Well, I can't fit it
Greg, you got anything?
here.
Oh.
Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. Karen?
I would like to thank all the businesses that did participate in Ladies' Night. I was out there shopping, and you did an amazing job between the food spread and the special deals. It was really a special night, and I think you deserve a special thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Mr. Kevin?
Just happy holidays to everybody.
What was that you said?
Happy holidays to everybody.
Thanks,
they
buddy.
heard me.
Wendy?
Yep. Happy holidays.
Rich?
Okay, I actually have a few things to say. It'll only take me a second.
Okay.
Time's up.
I want to start with sending my deepest condolences to the Rainville family with the passing of Paul Rainville. He was known and loved by a lot of people on this island. He was just a wonderful man, friend of mine. He passed away a couple weeks ago, and my condolences to everybody for that loss. Second thing, if there's anybody on this island that knows somebody that is in need, the Grosse Ile Goodfellows, which I'm a part of, the Grosse Ile Goodfellows is here to help. Have them contact, or if it's yourself, contact the Grosse Ile Fire Department. Ask for Chief Murdoch. If anybody, you have to be a Grosse Ile resident to collect from us or for us to help you. But we've got food. There's a million different ways we can help people. So contact the fire department if you know somebody in need on Grosse Ile. We will help you. Third thing, Merry Christmas, and see you guys at the tree.
Thanks, Rich. Brandon?
Yeah, and to add on to that, we have a social worker in the school system. So if you have kids in the school system, you can reach out if you need some extra help these holidays. And happy holidays to everyone. Merry
Megan,
Christmas.
I read all your posts too, girl, and I get really emotional on some of that stuff. I don't have kids, but I'll tell you, you are such a brilliant writer, and I know you're watching this, so props to you and your family, and thanks for sharing your husband, all of you. Mr. Nelson.
First of all, happy holidays to all. And Karen, you talked about Ladies' Night Out, how successful it was. Did you use Angela's name out loud? She put it on, didn't she?
Angela Secocas.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Robert Sawyer was helping a little too.
Oh, yeah, but, yeah. They do a great job. Thank you.
Kim O'Farrell, our recreation director.
Happy holidays.
Our superhero, thank you.
No, just looking forward to 2020, new programs. Thank the commission for your support. We've got a lot of projects coming at us very fast, moving pieces and parts, but just thankful to be part of this team. So thanks.
Thank you. Once again, don't forget, everybody, tomorrow night, Friday, is Island Glow. Support your local businesses. Check out Lights on Lions, which are at Lions Park, the trees. I want to thank everybody. Have a happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Reach out, volunteer for your community. Thanks, everybody. Oh, wait. Next meeting is January 23rd, 2020. I need a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:24. Motion? Kevin, second? Nelson? All in favor of getting
Aye.
out of here? Yay, aye. Good night. Thank you.
Well, that was fast.